there, and welcome back to another exciting adventure in makeup. I am Bug Catcher Kate, and I am so glad that you're able to join me. On today's episode, I am going to be doing a look for the Super Bowl, which is going to be starting in about 45 minutes. I am a huge Chiefs fan, coming from Missouri originally, so I am really happy to see them for the second year in a row in the running. To start this look off, I'm going to do a really basic face coverage. I'm going to use this concealer to start off with, and I'm going to do my under eye. You can see that I've got quite a bit of dark circles there. And I did already moisturize. I wanted to make sure that I did this video with you guys, but I wanted to make sure that it looked good, so I didn't do it before I headed over. I am at my family's house now. My roommate and I came over to watch the game with them. So I'm going to start with those under eyes, and I'm just going to blend outward. I'm going to blend up towards the eye, out towards the nose, out towards the cheeks. This is really the area that I want the most coverage because I do have a little bit of dark circle going on. So I want to make sure that that looks as fresh as possible. So again, we're just blending up towards the eye, out towards the cheek, and out towards the nose on that one. And then I'm going to use the same product just to cover up a couple of these blemishes. I'm not going to worry too much about having a super heavy coverage over my skin because I'm going to be doing a lot of cheering, a little bit of drinking, and quite a bit of snacking. So I'm not super worried about it looking flawless all day, but I do want to make sure that I start off with a really nice look for the game. So I just went ahead and went over those blemishes with that, and then I'm blending them out with the thick, dense brush that I like to use for my face coverage. And then I'm going to switch to a bigger, softer, fluffy brush, and I'm going to just pick up some of this powder. This is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation in a powder, and I'm just gonna do this all over my face because I want to make sure that I have a good base, and I have a little bit oilier skin, so I want to make sure that I don't have too much of that oil going on. Not really looking to have a super shiny face, so just very lightly dust that all over. Now, like I said, the game is starting in about 45 minutes, so I am rushing just a little bit more than I normally would because I do not want to miss kickoff. So we also have to make sure that we do this perfect in the first take. So wish me luck. All right, knock everything over. All right, and then to start off on my eyelids, I'm going to use the Garden Variety palette from ColourPop. And I'm going to go in with this color Deserted and use that as a really soft base just all over the lid and a little bit up onto the brow bone as well. So I'm going to take a flat tapered brush, has a little bit of that minty green on it from the last video I did. I'm going to pick that nice soft color up, and then again just want to apply it all over the lid. This is going to be the base that I'm using to blend the rich yellows. I'm going to primarily focus on the yellows from the Honey palette from ColourPop, and then of course add some reds as well. If you're unfamiliar, the Kansas City Chiefs colors are red, bright fire engine red, and yellow, a little bit more toned down, not quite primary yellow, more like a gold. All right, that looks really nice. Now without picking up any more product, I'm just gonna gently go over the brow bone to make sure that there's some product there to blend with. And I think that's all I needed this palette for, actually, just that base. Oh, I knocked everything over. All right, we're gonna switch to the Honey palette, which is quickly becoming my very favorite. I featured it in several of my videos. Just really, oops, sorry about that glare. Really gorgeous yellows. It's a little blown out, but I'm going to go in with Oh Behave, and I'm going to use the same brush, and I'm going to pick up that color there, and I'm going to focus on the crease and the outer edge of my lid for this one. I will eventually darken this up with a little bit of a brown, but I really just want to start out with that super pigmented yellow because I do want this look to say, I am a fan, and I am cheering for them, and I am cheering for them. So I'm just gonna go back in with a little bit more of that Oh Behave and just make sure it's really solidly in that crease on both sides. And then I'm gonna take a fluffier brush, make sure it doesn't have any pigment on it. I'm just gonna very lightly brush over that to make sure if I do have too much on my face or too much on my lid that it comes off now rather than later while I'm trying to build on top of it. So I'm going to switch to the fluffiest brush and get the rest of it off of my cheeks. I'm going to check this mirror since it's a little bit closer. Woo! And I do not have my glasses on, obviously. I'm going to take that same fluffy brush that I just used and I'm going to very lightly soften this edge here and just add a little bit of yellow to the inner corners. I'm going to pick up just a tiny bit more. Again, just to bring out that really bright yellow. And it does a little bit of contouring on the nose as well because it's a little bit darker. That's nice. That's not as harsh on the white there. I really like that. I think that's a lot of fun. I'm going to then switch to Dandy, which is a really rich gold. And I'm going to use that for the inner lid. I'm just going to very lightly sweep towards the center. I don't want to use it all over the lid because I do want to have some of that lighter kind of pale buff color show out. Don't want it to all be yellow. Again, check this closer mirror to make sure. Do a little bit better job blending there. So you can see that I blended it very lightly into that darker yellow that I brought into the inner corner. All right, and it's a tiny bit patchy right along here. So I do want to make sure that I blend that out. So I'm going to take it and blend back towards the inner corner. And to make sure that it looks consistent, I'm going to do that on both sides. And then I'm actually going to switch back to the Garden Variety palette and use that same brush and then pick up a little bit more of this color, which is called Deserted. I don't think I mentioned that. And then I'm just gonna place it into the center of my lid and very lightly blend out the edges. This will give the appearance of a highlight on the center of my lids, just adds a little bit of volume. Again, I'm gonna need to check that. There went my glasses. I'm gonna check that with my closer mirror. Need to blend that just a little bit lower. I haven't done this look very often where you use that lighter color to accent the center of the eyelid, but I really like it. I think it's very pretty. All right, now we're going to just go straight in with Palooza, which is a glitter gel. And I'm gonna pick some of that up and I'm going to apply it right along the top edge of where my brow is, or the bottom end of my brow, the top edge of my brow bone. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side, just to bring a little bit of fun across the look. Look at that, a little bit of glitter. Nothing too crazy. I actually can't see if that one, oh yeah, there it is. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to do my brows. I'm gonna use the Maybelline Tattoo Studio pen that I love. And I'm just going to draw some little hairs on at the end here and then draw up towards the natural arch and back down. I really just want to fill my brows in a little bit. I don't mind the shape, don't really care for this look because I like the natural shape of my eyebrows anyway, so I don't really need to play with it. Just gotta fill them in because they are a little bit patchy and a little pale in some spots. So I do want to make sure that I didn't pull, looks like I pulled this one down just a little bit further. There we go. I am going to take this and draw in a couple more defined brows at the front here to give that appearance of hair. There we go. All right, now we are swiftly moving to Main Squeeze, which is this gorgeous reds palette from ColourPop. Some of these shades, it says not to use directly near the eye, and that's because of what is used to pigment them. So just be really careful if you are using a palette and pay attention to that. They're denoted, I don't think you can see that from there, but they're denoted on the back like it's hot, and Baywatch are not intended for the immediate eye area. So that would be this one and this one. But I'm actually going to be using Home Slice because it has a really nice shimmer in it. And I am going to grab my thin fluffy brush, using my wrist to clean it off because I forgot to grab a paper towel. And I am going to wet it just a little bit and grab some of that Home Slice and then go in underneath as a liner. Now, I do not want to drag this all the way into my inner corner. I usually say that, but especially on this look, since I am using red, if I pull it all the way into where the pinks are on the inner corner, it can just really enhance the appearance that your eyes themselves are red, or that you have, you know, a sty or pink eye, so not really something I'm looking for. Just bring it in towards the center there. Ooh, that's so fun. Okay, I'm gonna fluff that out, and then I'm gonna pick up Big Gulp, which is a slightly more orange color, and it has no shimmer. It's a matte, and I'm just gonna use that to very lightly soften the edge of where I used the Home Slice. I'm gonna pick up a little bit more of that. Dun, dun, dun. All right, and then I'm going to switch to a fluffier brush, make sure it doesn't have any pigment in it, and again, just use that to soften that edge and draw it out a little bit. Dun, dun, dun. That's fun. I love that. All right, and then we are going to find my little brush. I just dropped it. Find the little brush. I'm gonna grab some of that Home Slice, and we're gonna do something crazy. Instead of using the brown to do the crease like I thought I was going to, I'm just going to do a really dramatic crease with the red. All right, it's not anywhere near as dramatic as I thought it was going to be, so that actually is probably a good thing. The thing I don't want though is I don't want this to blend to an orange, because there is absolutely nothing about the Kansas City Chiefs that is orange in their uniforms, so there's no reason for that. There we go. So I'm bringing it out a little bit further to kind of meet up with where that red is. This is a super bold look. I haven't ever done anything quite like this. I think this would be referred to as like a graphic eyeliner, where you use a color and make it stand out like that. But wow, I think that's cool. Again, I do want to make sure that it's not too blended in here, so I'm just going to go back in with some very definite red, because I don't want any orange. That's cool. I like that a lot. I'm just going to leave it, actually. I'm not going to use any brown. I don't want to blend it anymore. I love that. Oh, I am going to check to make sure that it doesn't look too bad from close up. Oh, it's a little messy. It's a little bit messy. We got to get some help on here. So I'm going to take this fluffy brush and just very gently blend that edge, because I don't want it to look too streaky. There we go. And then I did get some red up on the brow, which is not at all where I wanted it. So I'm going to switch back to the Garden Variety and pick up some more of that Deserted, just to very lightly kind of patch up that and do a little bit more blending here. Oops, not on the brow though. That's fun. Okay, so now we are going to go in with the Maybelline Colossal Mascara, and I'm just going to start at the outer edges of my lashes and just blink and draw up with the spoolie and in towards the nose. I love doing bold lashes. If I thought that I could manage to put on falsies and them still fit under my glasses to very, very tall asks, then I would wear them. But I do not feel confident in applying them considering how clumsy I am. And yeah, sometimes my lashes, just when they have mascara on them, are too long to wear with my glasses, which is not what we're looking for. Alright, so I've done a couple passes, and I am just very lightly blinking and pulling it through. This is to break up any of the clumps. Sometimes I'll do a shaky, or I'll actually take something else to break them up, but I don't mind if it's a little bit clumpy because it'll help add to that dramatic look, because I'm not going to do black eyeliner on this one since I decided to do that graphic red in the cut crease. Alright. While those are drying, because I am going to go through with another coat, I'm going to switch to do my lips. This is Holly Pop Jelly Tint by Holika. I don't think I said that brand right. But this is probably my favorite lip product that I have, which is crazy. But it is a really light stain, and it has a nice doe foot. It's a really warm red. I think this color is called Chili. It doesn't say on it. Wait. Yeah, it doesn't say on it, but I think the name of this one is Chili, but it's a really warm red, and it is a stain. So it's very, I think it's a water stain actually. So it's really thin. It goes on really smooth, but very bright. I'm gonna lean in just a little because that mirror is a little far away. All right, so we're gonna do one coat there. Go across the bottom lip to make sure I didn't miss any, and didn't go all the way into the corners because it will leak. Now, because like I said, I believe this is a water-based tint, so it will come off if you're not careful. So let it dry, let it sink in first, and then I'm going to do my blush while I'm waiting for the mascara and lip tint to set, so I can do a second coat on each of those. I'm gonna go in with my angled brush. Ooh, it's starting to show the bottom of the pan. Gotta try to remember to use the stuff on the edges. And I am not going to use as much blush as I normally would because there's a lot of red going on in this look. There's a lot of warm tones. So I'm gonna put it on how I normally would and then fluff out the brush to get off any excess pigment and then blend from there. And then I am going to switch to the soft fluffy brush that I was using for Fallout. And again, just really work to blend that out along the edges because I don't want it to be too loud and too warm because there's a lot of warm colors going on here. This is almost dry. All right, I think that looks really nice. I do want to touch that up really quickly, so I'm going to grab the powder, and I'm actually going to use the applicator that came with it. And I'm just going to touch up that very quickly and do the same thing up under my eyes, just very quickly touch up with some powder there for extra coverage, and on my forehead because I know that is where I tend to get oily. I was trying to blend a shadow, that's so funny. All right, let's take a look. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do the second coat of that mascara. So we're gonna go in here. And it's probably weird if I just stare at the camera. I don't know, is this weird? I feel like it would be unsettling. I don't actually need a mirror to do my mascara, but again, I feel like it would be unsettling if I just like did it all with looking off into the distance or staring into the camera, but there we go. All right, I think those are going to do. This is almost dry. Do another check. I'm really excited for this look. I'm really excited for the game. I'm really excited to watch it with my family and my best friend. All right, so I think the last thing that I'm going to do is actually go in with the What a Hoot palette from the Animal Crossing and ColourPop collaboration. I'm I'm gonna pick up some of this Meteor Shower, which is a really nice kind of champagne shimmer, and I'm gonna put that along my cheekbones as a festive little highlighter. Do, do, do. A little bit more. Pull it up into the temples. There's a little too much on there, and again, I don't have a paper towel, so now I am stuck with this on my finger for the time being. But I believe the last thing I'm gonna do now is a last sweep of the lip tint. I'm gonna start on the bottom. All right, and make sure that it's not too tacky. All right, and that is it. This is my look for the Super Bowl, and I think I am just in time to grab some snacks. So thank you so much for joining, and feel free to come back, check out my other videos, or maybe just drop by to say hi. Bye.